Welcome back to another episode of the Know Your Power podcast. I'm your host, Kendall Aaliyah.
And I'm Julia Renee.
Beautiful.
Hello, guys.
Hello. Missed you so much.
Haven't seen you in forever.
I saw you 2 days ago.
I know, I was being sarcastic.
But we haven't seen the viewers in a week.
We haven't seen you guys in a week. We've been in your prayers and your thoughts.
I hope.
Every
I
time
guess.
you see an energy drink now, you think of me.
Yeah, Julia
and in honor
has
of today, I have my Strabango margarita. So I don't know if it was the last podcast or the one before, whichever one. It was one of last week's, but I told you guys that I got an email about it, that they were like launching it again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got an email as soon as we finished filming that it was live. It was like crazy because I went back to my computer and I was getting ready to start work, and I went and checked my emails and it like refreshed, and that was like the first email, and I was like, I'm buying a 12-pack.
Yeah, it's destiny.
And then when they came while we were out of town, and I texted Zach, I was like, don't eat, don't look at it, don't drink it.
Don't even bring it inside.
Don't even sniff it. Don't touch them.
That's
They're
so
mine.
funny.
I was like, I'll buy you your own.
That's so funny. Does he like them too?
He hasn't tried them.
I just tried it for the first time. I would give it an 8 out of 10. It's not a 10 to me. Is it a 10 to you? I feel like it would be with how much you love it. I feel like I'm more of I don't even know what I am.
You like the more, if you were an energy drink, you would be like a Alani Nu mimosa.
Yeah.
Where it's sweet.
That one's like, I've overdone it though.
It's not like too sweet.
Yeah. But this one doesn't taste too sweet to me. Yeah. I'm not a super fruity person.
Okay.
Like if it's a fruit, I'm a citrusy person. Okay. That's what I am.
And I'm not.
Okay. Like I was like a White Monster fan. I'm like a 3D energy, whatever the chrome one is fan. Like I'm like citrusy.
You will rarely catch me drinking like an orange cream or like
cream I can't
lemon lime or something, just because I'm like, it's boring.
Yeah, I get it.
It's too boring.
It's fine.
But there's a chance that Chloe's going to walk in here at any moment because she's actually going to be on our next episode. But for some reason, she wanted to come.
I think she wanted to be on this episode, and Julia's being a big sister. Yeah. And because Chloe was running late, Julia said, too bad. I was like, we're starting without you.
If you wanted to.
So she might hop in. She might force us to add her seat in, which is fine.
If you wanted to be here and be on the first pod, then you get here on time.
Yeah.
And I just knew it. I know her so well and we know each other so well that we already kind of know what each other's going to do.
I also feel like I am so similar to Chloe.
Yes.
That's something I would do. So makes sense, I guess.
Oh, God. Well, today we're going to be talking about a lot of things, but I'm really curious about your hair situation.
I have a hair story. I don't think I haven't looked at it.
Looks good.
Okay. I've never just worn it down and in front, like literally ever rare. Anyway, but especially with the headphones. So if I look a little insane, I'm so sorry, and I'm gonna keep adjusting my hair.
She looks cute.
Anyway, okay, no, I think it's a good story. Basically, I'll try to concise this. I was like, how am I gonna tell Julia about this without making it like a 20-minute story? Basically, I'm sick of my hair.
Impossible for you.
Every
story you tell is the longest
and
story
the thing is, this is not a long story. Like 3 things happened, but I'm gonna make it long because I feel like I need to paint the picture
for the plot
of how I feel. Which is one of my favorite sayings right now because I'm like, oh, all of our lives are the plot. Okay, anyway. So I'm sick of my hair. I feel like it's very flat, it's straight, it's long, it's all the things. If I ever style my hair, which is rare, usually I don't touch it at all. Like even this, I'm like so uncomfortable and constantly going to be moving and shifting it because that's just, I'm not used to having my hair doing anything ever besides being straight. Anyway, so I have a widow's peak, and I feel like especially recently with like my hair is getting longer, so it's weighing down again. I have no layers going on. I was like, I look like an egg. I was like, I need to do something here just to change it up because I'm so sick of how my hair looks right now. So yesterday morning, I do my makeup. I feel like I always put effort into my face, never my hair. So I'm someone where like, I'll do my face, yeah, but then my hair's like either back or behind my ears, or it's up in a bun, or it's just like greasy and gross and I throw a hat on. Like I just am not a hair person ever at all. And now I understand why girls are because The way that people treated me yesterday, you would have thought I got like a face transplant, like a nose job.
Because you did both. You did hair and makeup.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I curl my hair. I walk downstairs. First person I see is my boyfriend's brother, who is our roommate. He lives with us. And I just see him kind of like out of the corner of my eye looking at me.
He's like, what the
and I'm
fuck
like,
are you doing to
so
your
I
hair?
kind of look at him and he goes, you look different. And I was like, okay. I was like, I did my hair. He goes, yeah, I think that's it. And I was like, it was just a weird, and I was like, okay, someone noticed. Was it a compliment? No, but they noticed. And then I'm running like late to a client. So I run outside to like say bye to my boyfriend because he's eating breakfast like on the back porch. And as soon as I step out, he's like taken aback. Like he does one of those like, you know, when you lean back to get a better look at someone, he was just like, what's going on here?
Well,
and I
he's
was
used to seeing just the face.
Yeah. And if anything,
done.
like he's used to seeing like not even the face done. So like I am usually giving rat around the house. And it's like only when I'm doing things do I get ready. Anyway, so I'm like running late. So I just like give him a kiss and he's like, wait. And I was like, what? And I was like, he was like, why do you look so different? Like again. And I was like, is it a good different? He goes, yeah. It's just different. And I was like, okay. Anyway, boys are weird is the moral of that story. I go to the gym. You would have thought my nipples were out. Like, I feel like I find myself pretty, but not so pretty where I'm like a head turner, you know? This was the first time people were like looking at me. And I was like, is this what it's like to like have pretty privilege? Like just people like treating you a certain way. And it made me so uncomfortable that I ended up putting my hair up because I was like uncomfortable about it. And I was like, couldn't tell if they were looking at me because my hair looked good or because I looked like I was trying too hard for the gym. So I got a little self-conscious and I put it up and I was like, I promise this was for the video. I took the video before I started my workout, so it was good. I posted the video. All of the comments are about my hair. Like, I swear this is like an anomaly for me. And it's something you're probably so used to because your hair always looks good. Not me. I've never get complimented on my hair.
Kind of do. I guess I changed my hair wash day so that my hair is actually clean
for the pod. Yeah, same.
So my hair wash day was yesterday, but you're right. Like, I don't really do that much to my hair. When I come to the gym, it does look good, but then you know how much I sweat. It
same. Yeah, by the end of my workout, it's... I start bad.
You also never curl your hair.
Never.
So it's not even just that you're wearing your hair down.
Yeah.
It's that you curled your hair.
Yeah.
Which you don't ever do.
Yeah.
So it's very noticeable and it looks amazing.
See, in my head, I was like, I think I look the same. Anyway, the final straw, the final of like people treating me weird yesterday was I get a call. I post the video that I had filmed and I thought my hair looked good and all the comments were so sweet. I was going to put out like a mass pinned comment of like, you guys are literally so sweet because I was nervous. Like I never do stuff with my hair, so it's scary.
Keep talking. I'm going to watch it.
Okay. Anyway, so I get a call at like midnight from my mom and I'm like, why is she up? And I'm like still kind of doing work. She calls me and she goes, I just opened Instagram. And I was like, who is this girl? And then I realized it was you. And I was like, guys, it's literally, my hair went from pin straight.
I'm saving it.
To a slight wave. Like I really did not do that much, but people were treating it like I got my nose job done or like something, you know?
But also like, we've talked about this with moms. It's there, especially like our moms are kind of similar in that way where they'll be like, maybe put some lipstick on, you know, or like maybe do a little zhuzh to your hair.
But I feel like my mom's like the one person, unless I'm like have my hair up and it's like a bump is happening, she usually doesn't comment on my hair. Anyway, so that is my little hair story. I fear that I can never straighten my hair again because I feel like the response was so good that I was like, okay, was I gross before?
It looks so good.
It does look good like that. The headphones, I don't think are doing it justice.
You need to keep doing
I think I need a haircut also, though, because it's still just very long.
I'm also having deja vu right now, and it's really weird.
I have been having deja vu so often.
I don't know. Because how could I? Because you never curl your hair.
No, exactly. But I've been having the weirdest deja vu like that where I swear I had like a deja vu moment. We had like this couple staying with us last weekend. They were just like our friends from Houston in town. So they were staying at our place. And the girl was in the massage chair. This is so random. Girl was in the massage chair. Boyfriend was like, the massage chair is kind of in front of this other chair and he was sitting there. I had like this distinct deja vu and I was like, we never really just like have girls in our house. So I was like
how
why
is
do
this
I
déjà
was
vu?
having a deja vu of like that girl sitting in this chair. It was my first time meeting her first time in our house. It was odd. And I like literally had to leave the room because I was like, I felt like I've seen, like, I don't know if it was a dream.
So weird.
And I remember the first time I saw it, I said, that would never happen. We rarely have girls in the house. Anyway.
That's weird.
I've been having weird
I feel like deja vu could potentially, this is just something that I think about. It's like either alternate realities and you've done this in an alternate reality, or it genuinely has happened before and you just don't remember.
And I feel like a third option for me is I
thing.
swear I have dreams. And I don't think I'm the type of person where my
Could be a
dreams
dream.
come true, not in like a sad way. Like my actual like nighttime dreams come true. But sometimes I see stuff in my dreams and I'm like, that would never happen. And then it happens.
Yeah.
Or like part of it happens and I go, oh no, is that second part gonna happen? And then I get scared.
I mean, it's coming from your own mind.
Yeah.
So like, why would you come up with that?
Yeah.
Why would you dream that?
Like, why
You
am I
know,
dreaming about this random girl in my massage chair? I don't know.
It's weird.
It is very, like all of my deja vu moments are odd.
So the hair's staying.
Yeah, I think. Now I fear I have to wake up earlier to do my hair.
You're gonna get so much and quicker at it and
Yeah.
everything. But of course, you look good with your hair straight.
Thanks.
I love when your hair is straight too.
Thanks.
But just like how you always see my hair curly,
I love when yours
see
is
it
straight.
it's
Yep.
like, whoa, I love your hair because it's just different than what you're used to doing.
Yeah.
And I think that's why people reacted, and because it looks amazing.
Thanks.
And it has like so much volume.
I just thought it was so funny.
know?
Like it was just the reaction,
Like you
especially
would have thought that I was
like
changed my face.
you would have thought I
or-
bleached my eyebrows.
Yeah.
The way people were like, "Why do you look so different?"
Because there's like, if you even go back to like going to prom or like going to homecoming, people associate when you curl your hair with you're going somewhere. You have
Yeah.
something to do.
I even straightened mine for prom, which I
Yeah,
think says a lot about
Not
me.
even like, I mean, straightening your hair, like you're still straightening, like it
Yeah.
takes time. But for some reason, when your hair is curled, all of a sudden, you're like walking a runway.
Yeah.
And also, when you said like right after I got a call, and I was like, what was it, from like a magazine just wanting to interview you?
I got a call
They're
from Vogue.
Vogue.
They said we need
Kendall
you
Leo,
on the cover.
we need you on the cover.
That's so
with your hair
funny.
zhuzhed
No.
like that. But
Anyway, but thank you guys so much
Yeah.
for being so nice about me attempting something new.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's, I don't know, it's not that deep, but it is scary. That's like when someone gets bangs. It's like a risk.
yeah, when I got those, I mean, there weren't really bangs, but they were.
They suited you so well.
I just kind of like went and like I went to the gym right after that,
Mm-hmm.
literally because I had my appointment and then I went to the gym right after, and she had done my hair up all different
Mm-hmm.
than what I'm used to, and I loved it. And my thing, and I got so many compliments. Just like people are like, "Wait, you
What's
always look like
different?"
this,
Yeah.
but now you look like
it's
this."
like something's better. And I'm
Yes.
like, okay.
This is why I'm not going to wear makeup anymore. So then when I do my full beat,
Yes.
Zach will be like, "Wow."
Yeah.
Even though I do a full beat every day, and it's just like, that's what,
Will
that's
you
what look
do
like.
a full beat if you're like staying at home all day? Because there's some days I do because it truly is for me, but then some days I don't, and I'm like, oh, I kind of wish I did.
I really don't have any days where I'm not doing something. Like
Yeah.
today would be the only day that realistically I wouldn't need to put on makeup because it's my rest day and I'm going to the gym, but we filmed the podcast before.
Yeah.
And I'm doing a shoot with Buff Chick afterwards. So it's like,
That's fair.
but I love doing it anyways. It's just part of my routine anyway.
Yeah.
But I wanted to read another comment that we got from a listener. You guys have been loving when we've been reading these, and we had someone actually the other day. She was reacting to hearing us read her comment, and it was like a little video, and it was so cute.
Oh, cute.
But Chloe's been a gem, and she's been adding
Also,
them too.
before we continue, while it's fresh on my brain, I saw a comment about it, and I also want to do it. I want to find a system to take live callers. Like, even if it's just like one an episode.
That would be
I
cool.
think that would be so fun. And then it's like a way to like interact with the people listening. I think that would be so cool.
Like we're a radio show.
Yeah.
We're like, you're live with Kendall
Which
and
obviously
Talia.
it's not actually live, but it's live for us where we're talking to them, and we need to find a way to record their audio That way, when I edit it, it can integrate. I want to really find a way to do this, even if it's one episode ever.
We could definitely do that, because it'll just be what we would do is set it up with what we say.
Yeah.
And then whoever the live caller is, we can have just like a recording of theirs, put it in.
Yeah.
And then our answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could totally do that.
I want to do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
That'd be cool.
We're going to be doing live callers soon.
Yes.
More info later.
Okay, so this one reads, "Hi guys, this is so random, but I'm such a huge fan of your podcast. You're the only podcast I listen to. Lol. I just had to share with you this story because I used advice that you guys gave. I'm recovering from eating issues, and I'm 70% of the time really proud of how much more muscular I've gotten. Unfortunately, I still let social expectations get to me, and I get really down on myself. Today, I was at the mall with a friend and trying on clothes, and I tried on a dress. I was really insecure about the way my shoulders looked in it, and it didn't help that when I came out, my friend made comments on how big I looked, saying I shouldn't be wearing that kind of stuff. Oh, hell no, this is not a friend. At first, I was crushed, and I wanted to just go home and cry, but I started to think about your guys' advice and how it doesn't matter what other people think if I recognize how powerful and beautiful I am in my own skin. So I bought the damn dress, and I felt so confident. Thank you, guys."
That's going to make me cry.
That's awesome.
I will say that is one of the most common times where I get that same self-consciousness. So just know you're seen. And that I feel like that is like a normal experience for gym girlies, where we feel so good in activewear, and then certain dresses, certain cuts, whatever it is, I'm like, when did I get man arms? Which is like, you can still be so proud of your work and still have those little glimpses of like, oh, you know, maybe the style isn't for me or whatever. Absolutely do not let someone else dictate that for you, though. Like, you are if you felt good in that dress, like, F them.
Not a good friend.
Because, yeah, that is not a good friend, a real friend, in my opinion. Like, if the only time I would ever say that is, like, one, about myself, or two, as a joke. Like, I would never seriously be like, oh, you shouldn't wear that. Like, what? That is insane. So good for you for putting your foot down, buying it anyway. I hope you wear it, take photos in it, feel good in it, because I get that. Yeah. Completely.
And every time that I try on normal clothes, and I always make like jokes and like Instagram stuff about when gym girls have to wear normal clothes. And the reason I'm making that joke is because it's actually hard to find things that like fit your physique. Yeah. You know, when you start to put on muscle, like things just fit differently. Or even if you like lose weight, your stuff fits differently. I just spent way too long right before this podcast, because I'm doing a video, I'm doing some content with Buff Chick right after this. So they have certain outfits they wanted me to plan. And I get so frustrated because trying to find stuff that's normal clothes, just like a regular summer outfit, is, I can't just go into the closet and like pick it out. I tried on some shorts. I was like, oh, these fit me a month ago, and now they're all saggy. Yeah. And I was like, and then I try something else. It's like way too tight now. And I always get so frustrated with doing that. And I feel like when we have gone shopping before, it's the same thing.
I know I have to pull like 10 dresses as like an expectation of 5 of these will not fit me or fit me right.
Yes.
And then like you finally find that one and you're like, dang, I feel good. Even if my arms are out and jacked. Like if anything, that's a flex. We were going to make a video and we never did. We talked about it for like an hour.
We were so tired.
Anyway, we played dress up to go to finals for summer shredding, which we'll be talking about in a minute. And we were going to make a video being like, the only reason we lift is to flex in our dresses, because it's like so fun to be a muscular girl in a dress. So
it really is.
Yeah,
it is. So that, and just how you reframed that yourself too. I love that you did that, you know, and of course, like when you hear that from a friend, like it hurts, especially if that's something that you're already kind of, maybe I shouldn't be wearing this. Like you're already self-conscious, and then like a friend like confirms that thing that you already were thinking. It just makes it 10 times worse. But I'm glad that you were able to find that confidence like in your physique and know that this is how I choose to look, and I love it, and I don't care what anyone else thinks. So it's them, not you.
Yeah, for sure them. They're projecting because they don't have your arms.
Maybe they wanted your arms, you know?
Okay, time for the segment of what the fuck is up at the gym?
What the fuck is up at the gym?
I realized I swear a lot in real life. Like not super often, but like it's part of my vocabulary. I, for some reason, get like self-conscious about it on the podcast.
I swear more on the podcast than I do in real life.
Really? I think it's because I know that, like, literally not even my mom, because I swear to her all the time, but my boyfriend's mom watches some of these, and I don't want her to think of me differently.
Yeah, I get texts.
So I am like,
from my
oh, what
mom.
the frick is up? What the heck is up? But yeah, what the fuck's up at the gym?
Cannoli.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I think this is, out of all the platforms that I'm on, this is the most an unhinged platform I'm on.
Good.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like if you're tuning in for an hour,
If you could tell.
you're getting us.
Yes. But what the fuck is up with gym? There's a lot of things that I got to tell you about. So
Talk about your experience first, and then I'll talk about like our experience.
what was ours?
Just the driving.
Oh my God. It was just, I mean, we did go to summer shredding this past weekend.
Yes.
I had one of my clients in the show, and she was incredible.
She won.
She's a wellness competitor. She won the whole thing. It was amazing. I'm going to put some photos on the story so that you guys can see. And she was so happy. And just getting to see her that happy was the icing on top of the cake. But before that, because we spent like a little girls' weekend there, and we went a little bit early. So Katie and I, we drove down together, and we still needed to get a workout in. So we first go to Iron City Gym, which is an incredible gym in Houston. And we decided to go to Houston on the weekend where literally the power was out.
There
and
was
all
a
of that stuff. There was a
hurricane.
hurricane.
Yeah.
And people kept asking us, why are you guys here?
Literally,
And we're like,
yeah.
we're summer shredding. They're like, why'd you choose this weekend? It's like, I mean,
We didn't have a choice.
honestly, we kind of didn't. We kind of forgot.
Yeah.
Because we went into that gym. It was about 6:40. We walk in and it's all dark in there. And I'm like, that's weird. Why is it all dark in there? And there's fans blowing. And I'm like, maybe it's just a normal gym. And they were like, yeah, you could get a day pass, but we're closing at 7, which was in 20 minutes. I looked at Katie. I was like, can you get a workout done in 20 minutes? She's like, by the time like we go to the bathroom, set up, I'm like,
You'll
yeah,
have like
you're
5
right.
minutes.
So then Katie and I drove to another gym, and it was just like it was almost like the world did not want us to train. It was 2 days of this. It was so crazy, but we were committed. So we decided to just go to like a regular, like a Fitness Connection, which is more of like a chain or a corporate gym.
Yeah.
And they're really nice gyms. They have tons of machines, so much space. So Katie, Kendall, and did you?
I wasn't there.
You didn't go to that one.
I had driven
She drove
in
later.
Yeah, later than you guys. So I was at the house when this was all happening.
She was at the house, and then Katie and I started our workout and everything. And I'm doing my workout, and I'm doing leg press, and I have like 6 plates on each side for a leg press, and I'm doing my sets or whatever. And then during my rest period, I have my full headphones on, so I can't hear anybody. This man walked up to me, and he's like trying to talk to me, and I can't hear. So I'm like, he's talking, and I have my headphone in, so I still can't hear him. And then
I would have not taken my headphones
lifted
out.
it, and I was like, what? And I'm also like tired, and I'm breathing, so I'm a little like delulu. And I lift it, and he's like, honey, please.
Not honey.
Be careful. I know that that's like a lot of weight, and don't lock out your knees or your legs. And I was like, what? I just literally looked at him and was like, what?
Julia's being very calm telling this story right now. When
so
she told
mad.
me when she first got back to the house, she was livid about it.
I don't even think I told Zach about it.
Well, I do feel like it was
but-
such like a backhanded piece of advice, like a backhanded compliment, but like.
So we could play two sides. We could play two sides to where he was genuinely concerned about my safety or whatever, or the side where it was very condescending. It's like, sweetie, I did not lock out my
like
legs.
A condescending.
I literally walked into the house to tell Kendall the story and was running around screaming, I wasn't locking out my legs. And I think that's what was the most frustrating, is like coming over to correct my form, which that didn't even happen. Yeah. And I was just like, go away.
Yeah.
It was just so weird. And I'm not going to lie. It ruined, like, I, of course, still did my workout. I was still crushing all the lifts that I was doing, but I could not stop thinking about it, because that hasn't happened to me in a really long time, where someone has, you see this all over social media where people come up to some people at the gym and they're just like in their grill or whatever. I just said grill.
I know what you mean though.
In their space and like, you know, those kinds of videos. And that hasn't happened to me in a very long time because I go to the same gym. I know all the people. Yeah. We have a little bodybuilding
They know you
community.
and the fact that you can safely lift X amount of plates on a leg press. But I think one glimpse at your quads, you'd be like, she knows what she's doing.
So weird. I was like, I was so mad. I kept like doing other workouts and I kept looking at Kendall and like Katie from across the room.
I was not there.
Katie. And I was like, I kept finding Katie and I was like, I'm so mad. I was just so angry.
It's one of those things I feel like it's all about delivery because like he might have once locked out his knees and he's like, I need to warn the masses.
That's what I was thinking was that maybe this is something that he has done in the past and maybe he was trying to make sure that I don't harm my body, which I totally understand. And of course I do a lot of things every month in order to protect my body because I know what I'm doing to it is very, very hard on my body.
You also know form though.
And I was not locking out my knees. I'm saying this right here, right now. I was not.
Yeah.
So
unsolicited advice is odd sometimes.
It just made me so pissed. So that's what the fuck is up with the gym.
And then the second what is up is the next day. Now I'm joining them from the gym. And okay, for those who know Houston, I'm going to say rough areas. And for those who don't, and you're watching the video, or we can add this to the story, I'm going to draw you a little map, okay? So you can understand that we drove the whole span of Houston, which is a huge spread out city.
Just to go to the gym.
So we were staying in like Cypress Spring area. As you can see on the map, we drove to Alphaland. Obviously, we're there for summer shredding, the events going on. It's not hosted out Alphaland. They host it at like a convention center. So we drive an hour in like slight traffic, toll roads, the whole thing. We get to Alphaland, we pull up and we go, why is it empty?
No. There was a jank ass sign.
Like a sign that someone wrote with like their foot.
It looked like it was spray painted.
Literally.
It was so fun.
On cardboard.
It was crazy. And we pull up and we're like, what?
And it says gym closed on this big sign. So we go, okay, testing our patience a little bit. Do we go home? Like, do we give up at this point? We just drove an hour. And the thing about Houston is they have some of the best gyms in the world, but it is such a big city. And obviously, why would they build two giant, great gyms next to each other? They wouldn't. So they're kind of spread out across the city. So we go, okay. The only other gym that we like have been wanting to try is Roman Empire, a beautiful gym. So glad we ended up going. So this all happened for a reason. It was another 45 minutes away in Pearland or Lake City. Yeah. So it's like on the other coast. And then driving back home, we're now as like southeast as you can get. East, right? Yeah, southeast as you can get. And we're staying as northwest as you can get. It was just a nightmare. We drove, I think, for 4 hours. We left for the gym at 2 p.m. We did not get home until 8:30.
Literally.
Like that's our whole day was getting to the gym, taking photos and working out. And we took some really good content. It
was so worth it.
Thankfully. Yes. Because if we didn't, I fear that we would have just cried.
We would have all just cracked. We would have been like, this is it. The universe doesn't want us to train.
We also had to like call Roman because again, we weren't thinking about all these power outages because like the house we were staying in got their power back. So that whole area was like, everything was fine. Exactly. Every coffee shop, every restaurant, all the things were all up and running. I didn't think that all of these gyms would be out of power.
And then, of course, like when we pulled up to Alphaland and it was closed, like we go and we look on the site and everything, and it's like, we're closed, like everywhere. And I'm like, why didn't we think to look or check
and usually
on
I feel like I do, but I was just kind of like, oh, this is our routine when we're in Houston. Let's go to Alphaland. Yeah.
It was definitely worth it, though, because you guys have already probably seen us post some photos that we did at Roman Empire, and they just turned out so well.
I'm posting another today. They're so good. And it also like motivated me again where I'm like, I need to take more like in gym content. It was fun. Like we haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, I know. Like I told Katie because Katie and I drove back together on Sunday morning after like the weekend, and you stayed there a little bit with Cooper.
Yeah.
And she was like, I just like really needed this. Like I really needed this girls hang and stuff. And I was like, so did I. Like it was awesome. And sometimes like it's just nice to like get away from being around your partner all the time. And because I know like with Zach, like he's my best friend and like I can tell him anything, of course, but there's a difference between like hanging out with your girl best friends and like your partner that you can tell everything. Like it's just a different vibe. And sometimes you can like let loose in a different kind of way than you do with your partner.
Yeah.
So I was telling Katie, I was like, Kendall and I used to do this all the time. We just stopped, you know? And my commitment to you is that we keep doing this and we invite you every single time because it was awesome. It was fun. And then it gives us a chance to chill and do the thing that we love to do.
It's like the fun part of our job too. Yeah, exactly.
It's for
like
work.
We're getting content. We were both filming for YouTube, which I don't know if yours is out by the time this is, but mine will be. Yeah. So we both vlogged the whole thing. If you want to watch both of our videos, I feel like those are always fun because it's like two different perspectives on the same weekend.
Kendall and I basically doing the same thing at the same time.
It's like I'm getting coffee and you're like Kendall's driving to get us coffee. It's like everything's the same, but different perspective, which is fun. And it just makes it so easy because like I still get really nervous filming in front of my partner or like filming in public. But when I'm with you and also in the environment of Houston where there are a lot more fitness influencers, you just feel so normal.
What's crazy, and I'm glad that you brought that up because I definitely noticed that shift when I came back home. So when I was going to the gym, when I was at Roman Empire, because it's so normal to film and everybody was around us, I didn't have 1 ounce of me that was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't take a photo here. Maybe I shouldn't,
all the people were so supportive. They were like, am I in your way? And I was like,
crazy.
no.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
And look, there's definitely gyms where it's kind of just, this is just know that you're going to be on camera.
Yeah.
And they have
it's
signs
like
and
literally
stuff.
part of their like contract that you sign when you sign up.
And there's some gyms that don't, and that's totally okay. But when it's like a part of our job, so we try to find places where they're okay with it. But I remember like coming back to Austin and I went to my normal gym that I'm at and they are always super cool with me filming and nobody made me feel weird about it, but I felt weird about it. And I was like, I don't ever feel weird about this. Why am I feeling weird about it now? And I think it's because there wasn't that many people that were doing what I was doing versus when we were at Roman Empire.
There's something so comforting about it. And then like I feel like every group had at least one camera with them.
Yes.
And we had our tripods just like up. Well, like we found a corner, granted. We're still like respectful of the people around us. We're not in the center of the gym like doing stuff. But we just like had our tripods on us the whole time. And like people were so nice and like talking to us in like a really friendly way about like, what are you guys filming for? Or like, oh, let me know if I'm in your way. Or like, if you need me to scoot over so you have the lighting, like things that,
like, oh my God,
when I film in
so
Austin,
nice.
People just kind of give me weird little side eyes and I go, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This is part of my job.
Like, and then you're the only one doing it. So then it's like, it feels weird. It's just everybody, especially like at Alpha Land, like I remember I saw this video on TikTok and it was when Alpha Land first opened and it was just a video of all of the tripods and it was crazy.
It's a little much there, but.
And I know that like that's not everybody's cup of tea, but when, that is your job, it is convenient to go to a place where it's more recognized and everybody else is doing it. And then you're like, okay, I'll do it.
It's almost like if you are someone that likes working at a coffee shop and you go to a coffee shop and everyone's working and you're like, ooh,
exactly.
I'm with all these people working. We're all dialed in.
We're
First
all
going to a coffee shop where then everyone's like chit-chatting and it's really casual and everyone's like dressed a certain way and you're there to work on your laptop and you feel just like a little weird about it. You feel a little out of place. That's how that feels for me.
You're like, I'm not having a conversation.
Yeah. So it does.
Feel a little left out.
It makes me,
That's a good point.
Yeah, I really enjoyed being in Houston. I felt like I needed that part too.
At least once a month, I think we need to do that. For sure. And I need to go back to that posing room and do like another month of progress photos there.
You looked insane.
It was nuts.
Insane.
And that is what's crazy because I wanted to talk about that a little bit because there was a moment, I think I was telling Kendall there where we were taking some photos and I was looking at how my physique looked in the mirror and I was like, oh my God, I turned to Kendall. And sometimes, as women, it's hard for us to say, oh my God, I look good because, or I feel like pretty today, or I look awesome.
Yeah.
Because either you're being too like extra or you need to chill out, calm
I've been trying
down,
to get better at
you know what I mean? But then if
those.
you also are just, you don't say anything nice about yourself, like it's bad. Like, we don't want to be either of too much. But so I was like, oh my God, I look amazing. I turned to Kendall and I was like, I look so good. But it made me realize that like when you get so focused on, your physique, especially when you're in bodybuilding, you're goal is to just have the nicest looking physique that you can.
Yeah.
Like that's literally
it's
what
pure
this sport
aesthetics here.
Yeah, that's what the sport is. And I feel like a lot of listeners probably relate to this, but when you start getting into your fitness journey, you start putting muscle on, maybe you've lost a little bit of the body fat or whatever, but you get into that hamster wheel of always wanting more, wanting a smaller waist, wanting bigger glutes.
Also body dysmorphia, where even if you're having those things, you're not seeing it how other people would see it.
Yeah, so that was that moment for me when I realized, I was like, oh my God, there's a lot of times where I will look at myself in the mirror, and I'm not mean to myself when I'm looking at myself in the mirror, but it's more, I'm looking at it from like a bodybuilder sense where I'm like, okay, you look good. We need more glutes upper here. We need to bring this in. We need some body
it's
fat.
like so objective.
You know, it's very just like, all right, check, check, check. And that was the first time in a long time where I was like, oh, look good.
Yeah.
It was great.
As you should. I feel like we also have both grown so much in that way, where when we used to do photo shoots, even if we did look good, we would find the flaws to say out loud to almost like justify the fact that we were taking photos of ourselves. And it's like, you're allowed to just feel hot. You're allowed to feel good. You're allowed to like acknowledge your progress. And it like, if anything, then like I got excited to take more photos. And then I was like, oh, I want to take photos now because now like I'm motivated by Julia. And then I feel like it just snowballs when you are
and
putting out those positive comments.
I think that Katie said something similar to that, because she was like, when I was taking the photos, like I didn't think they were going, I didn't feel like as like that confident. Like I didn't know if they were going to turn out good. And then, you know, we uploaded them to her phone and everything. I showed her how to do that. And I was like, look at them through, like, this is the most exciting part, is to get to like see all of them.
That is the fun
and
part.
She was like, oh my God, like I look so good. I'm like, yeah. See?
I tried telling you in the moment, but sometimes it's hard to feel that, especially like I always have a hard time when Julia's in prep. As I think anyone would, when you're next to like a jacked bodybuilder, it's easy to be like, do I train legs literally ever? So it's like also that like obviously a friendly comparison. I'm not like really mad at myself, but it's like so easy to be like, maybe I should not take these photos right now. But then you look at them when you're like on your own and you're, like, I'm doing fine.
I look good.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like all of our physiques look so different.
So different.
And we all feel confident in a different way, like wearing certain things. Like I was telling them, I know it's weird, but whenever I go to the gym, if I wear shorts that are too long, I don't feel confident. Like it's just, I know it's
and
weird.
I'm the opposite. If mine are too short, like I notice like that's where I have the most cellulite. So then I hone in on that. So we're just like, it's fully what you focus on. Yeah.
And that's what I was telling Kendall when I was taking the photos. I was like, it's so different, because I felt more like myself when I pulled the shorts up. I pulled the shirt to the top and I was like, okay, I feel like myself now. And then I was able to take some photos, but it was such a fun trip and it was great. And my little wellness girl, she won the whole thing. She got also like a $500 gift card from Pump Juice, which I love that stuff. We got to try it. It's amazing. They gave me and Katie like a big old thing of it, and you take like shots of it. Yeah. And it's like pure like pump juice. It doesn't,
and there's no caffeine, right? Which I like.
It's non-stem. Yeah. It's amazing. I've been using it for some of my shoulder workouts and stuff, and I've been loving it.
Sick.
But it was great. And I think one of the cool things too was she, like any normal competitor, especially first time, like you don't know how things run. You don't know what order they go into. You're like, well, how am I going to know what side of the stage to get off? Like, where do I know to stand? And I'm like, they will tell you. And if you don't know, ask. I walk on this side and then I walk off on that. And I got to be backstage with her, pumping her up. I even did her hair and 3 other girls' hairs in the back.
Julia's like, we get there early because she was going to, she was going to do her client's hair. And we like, Katie and I are just sitting and like watching all the categories, and we're like, Julia's been back there a while. And then we get a text. She's like, I've done 3 girls' hair. Yeah. And we were like, I'm sure that it meant a lot to them though.
It was such a humid weekend in Houston, and it was rainy, and Houston's already humid. So all of the girls got their hair done at like 5, 6 in the morning in their makeup. And a lot of the girls that were backstage, like it had already fallen. Like it was already gone. And I was like, I cannot let you go on stage looking like that. One girl's like, over here. Can you just do these 2 pieces in the front? I was like, no, girl, we need to do the whole thing. Because of course the front was falling. The curls weren't really curling anymore. And I was like, no, we're fixing this. And then one of her extensions was falling out. I was like, And then Yeah,
I need to tell you the reason I have never curled my hair is because you know how we were talking, it is for like fancy events or like when you're getting done up, you want your hair curly. One of the first shows I've ever done, I went to like their hair and makeup service, right? To like fully paid for it. And I asked for like blowout big, like even what I have today would have sufficed.
Did they give you like Shirley Temple ringlets?
The most crunchy. Like, yes, ringlet curls. You couldn't brush them out because there was so much hairspray and gel. I was like so mortified, and I'm backstage. Girls are trying to help me recurl it, but it's seriously like so stuck. And kind of similar to her, I think I was probably like 19 at this show, so I like didn't really know what to do. I was in panic mode. I was already nervous for the show and all of these things, and it was just like the most atrocious my hair has ever looked. And it like the shrinkage on it, my hair is probably like close to this length. It was like up to my shoulder, and I was like, this is not what you want for a show.
Pro tips from somebody that was a makeup artist and a hairstylist and is now a bodybuilder. And I was telling all the competitors this. So whenever you get, of course, like your makeup done, you do want to try to do your hair at the very last minute.
Yeah.
You know, that's why, you know, bodybuilding stuff sucks when you do your makeup and hair early. And of course, when you get your hair and makeup done by someone else, it's definitely way more convenient. And if you don't know how to do it, for sure, let somebody else do it. But don't let them brush out the curls. So what happens when you like curl your hair, the reason that the hair curls is from the heat.
Yeah.
So if you have, when your hair is still hot, it's still moldable. So right when your hair is hot after getting in the curler, I'm like making this with my face, and it's still moldable. If you make a really tight curl and it's still hot and you just pull it straight, it'll straighten it and it'll loosen it. So that's why I told the girls, it's like, okay, I'm going to curl your hair, but we're not going to brush it out until the last minute. I'm going to curl it, and we're just going to keep it in the ringlet looking things, and I'm going to spray it with hairspray. The last minute, right before you're going on stage, I'm going to brush it out. We're going to zhuzh it a little bit, and brushing it out also makes the curl go away faster. If you want it, I'd rather just like piece it through with your fingers and walk on stage, and it'll last a lot longer. And that is pro tips of hair and makeup with Julia.
I appreciate it. Whoever did my hair that day needed that tip because the way that it was unbrushable, unjudgeable, Judgeable.
Yes. Judgeable. She's got the judgeable hair.
Judgeable.
And also 2 different ways to curl your hair. Okay. If you want beach waves and you want something that has more volume, you need to curl your hair. The ones the ones by your face go back, but everything that is behind your ear switch going back and forth. So one goes back, the one that's next to it goes forward. The one that's next to it, you switch it. And I know that's a little difficult because most people only know how to go backwards, but when you do all of your curls backwards, they end up mushing together. Unless that's what you want. If you want like a glam
That's
wave,
how I did it yesterday, and that's what I wanted. Yeah. Because I wanted more of a wave. I didn't want like curls, if that makes sense.
If you want them to be like beachy and not like mushed together, then switch opposites. But if you want more of that kind of like glam wave, do them all backwards. And then when you brush it out, they'll kind of mush together. But then sometimes when you have extensions and they mush together like that, it'll be like a clump. And it'll just be like one, you know how it like
even
one curl.
I don't have extensions, and even mine has done that.
Yeah. So I was telling, just a couple tips.
Nice.
Anything. That
Big
you guys
hair
need.
podcast today.
I know. Other than that, my second, what the fuck is up with the gym?
Okay.
Yesterday, I'm filming a YouTube video with Ian, and it is just like the universe working in the craziest ways. I haven't even been shooting with Ian, and he texted me yesterday and said, he texted me Monday and says, we need to do a leg day together. He's like, I missed.
Like he wants to train with you or
no,
film
meaning
you?
he wants to film. He's like, we need another hype
I was like,
video.
you took him through leg day?
No, hell no.
Okay.
He's like, we need to do a leg day. And I was like, well, it's actually kind of great because I'm shooting with Buff Chick tomorrow at Lift ATX, like at 11 a.m. I was like, do you want to come? We could just do a mic'd up leg day. So he wasn't even supposed to be there. I don't even train at that time at all. And I get there and I'm loading my plates for my first one. And as I'm putting my plate in, I look up to go, because I'm getting up to grab another one. And I see this person that I'm like, I know who you are, but I am trying to think of where you...
I saw this on your story.
And I
did not know where this was going.
For a straight 5 seconds, like, just like... And I said, I know you. And he was like, I was like, you're on Love is Blind. Shayne Jensen.
Was this the show you were teaching me about on the pod? Okay.
He was on the season before.
Okay.
The one that we talked about. He's my favorite character. He's also on Perfect Match.
He's just a human being.
He's my favorite character. I love him. He's so goobery and nice funny.
In person?
He's exactly the same in person. Good. And I love him and I'm obsessed. And I was like, dude, I love you. Also, what are you doing here? He's like, I'm thinking about moving to Austin. I was just checking it out.
That's sick.
And it was just super cool. So we got it on video for YouTube, the interaction.
That's why I want to like see your face of like knowing who it is so badly. Because that's always so funny where you're like, how do I know this person? And then like the light bulb goes off and you're like, oh.
Yes.
And I watched you on TV.
It's weirder when you see like a photo and your memories from a photo or from like someone on TV that you actually haven't met in person. It's like, huh? And your brain kind of farts.
I'm sure he gets it a lot.
He's awesome. He followed me on Instagram.
Sick.
Just great. And we have something together that's going to be coming out soon.
How exciting.
And then secondly.
Okay.
You will not guess who is in my DMs this morning. Try and guess.
Okay. Can I do like 20 question style?
20 question style.
Male.
Male.
Athlete.
Athlete.
How am I already correct? NBA?
Yes.
Okay.
Dude, how are you getting this? Did I tell you already?
No. I just know the type to be in our DMs.
Okay, that's true.
Oh man.
Think like...
Because I also... Did you already know this person?
No.
Okay. Because I'm like, how many NBA players do you know? I feel like I only know because of my boyfriend.
Doesn't play currently, but was huge then.
It's not actually, like Shaq, right?
It was Shaq.
What?
It was Shaq.
I need to call Cooper. He will cry. What did he say?
He sent me a red heart. That's it.
Please send it to me, and I'm going to send it to Cooper
sweating.
And pretend it's mine.
Oh my
and
God.
I just want to get his reaction.
She goes, it's not Shaq, right? I'm like, it is Shaq.
Well, that's like the most unobtainable. He's so famous.
I had to double
That's
check.
like the equivalent of like LeBron reaching out.
It was crazy.
Like, it's not like a casual, like someone that plays on the Rockets, you know, which is still a big deal.
Fucking Shaq.
That's insane.
I was like, what the fuck?
What did you say?
I just said, I said, oh my God, I can't believe you're messaging me right now.
Oh my God.
The monkey high hiding thing. He never replied.
Please keep me updated.
Yeah.
We need the Shaq.
And then I sent it to Zach and he sent me a voice memo. He's like, he was literally my favorite as a child. This is amazing.
That's insane.
And I sent it to my mom and I said, Mom, I made it.
The only person that my boyfriend has ever cared about was, are you okay? You're really sweating. Hot flash?
I think so.
We can turn the fan on next episode.
I need to
we
pee,
can
though.
end soon. The only person my boyfriend ever cared about who DM'd me was like this golfer. And I don't even know golf like that. So I like told him and I was like, hey, there's this person, professional golfer. Anyway, I don't even know the guy's name even now. I think I responded because Cooper told me to and like told me exactly what to say. Because he was like, get free golf stuff for us. And I was like, he's not going to just send me golf stuff. But I guess he does like some YouTube for golf too. I guess I don't know anything about golf. And we were just like watching a video the other day and he goes, oh, you put this on because blah, blah, blah DM'd you.
Your boyfriend is on the screen. Is your
and
boyfriend?
I was like, I literally even now could not tell you the guy's name.
You know what I remember though? Shaq is actually a fan of bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Because when I went to the last Olympia with Ian.
Was he there?
Ian and I didn't go to the finals because we bought our tickets too late. So we watched it from the laptop in our Airbnb and they showed that Shaq was in the front, like in the front. So he's a fan of bodybuilding, so it kind of makes sense. But literally,
did he follow you?
Just a red heart. Doesn't follow me, but he sent me a red heart. So I was like,
oh, Shaq.
Yeah, Mom, I made it.
He's also such a dad. That's such a dad DM.
A red heart. It was so funny.
That's so
I
crazy.
think in order of like the craziest people to reach out to me, one of the Backstreet Boys. It was either
something like that.
It was
I remember.
NSYNC or a Backstreet Boy. One of them. I never watched them, so I don't know. I don't know which one it was. Marlon Wayans, the comedian, also one of the main characters on White Chicks, which is literally my favorite movie and then Shaq.
That's nuts. I've had like a rapper or two.
It's crazy.
But like no one I'm going to respond to because they scare me, if anything.
I feel like, I was like, should I respond? How can I not? Like,
yeah, I feel like when
like
a celebrity like that DMs you, you have to answer.
No matter what they say, just answer.
Like it doesn't hurt to have like a quick conversation. Like, a DM doesn't mean it has to go anywhere. It's just like insane. That's so funny.
It is crazy.
I like that I guessed it on the first time.
It was kind of crazy.
My first guess.
You like got
I'm so good at that game though. I told you a game I play when I'm like waiting for my food at a restaurant or like on a long drive is 20 questions, but with people or characters. I'm so good at it.
That's why
I'm annoyingly good at it.
Literally, I probably got the DM like last night or something that I don't know, but I check all my DMs in the morning. So it's like 5:30 a.m. I'm on the Stairmaster. I'm going through all my DMs and I see this one. And the first thing I want to do is send it to you. And I'm like, wait, Kendall's definitely not awake. And I was like, I have to save it for the podcast.
Yeah, saving stuff for the pod is worth it sometimes because that is insane.
Yeah. So now the goal is to make Shaq my best friend.
Yeah.
So
you guys also your height difference would be so funny on camera.
That would be hilarious.
I think you would come up to like literally his elbow. I think I would come up to his elbow.
Yeah. And when I saw Shayne at the from Love Is Blind at Lift ATX, he probably said something really stupid and was like, wow. I looked up and was like, because I asked for a photo, of course. I was like, you're so much taller than I thought you would be. Because all the guys like on Love Is Blind, it's like they have a height minimum of like 6 foot.
So they all look
the same and no one looks like super tall. But I was like,
I get that way with the NBA where I'm like, they all kind of look short because you're first off viewing it from up high, whether you're watching on TV or in person. Like unless you're, I sat like even one row back and I was like, they're not that tall. But then when you're standing up they're standing up, you're like, oh, because I feel like every team has like the short guy, quote unquote, where he's still like
6'5".
Literally.
Everyone else is just 7 foot.
Yeah. So it is like, I feel like it's just, it warps your brain a little where you go, no way, they're actually that tall. And then you are next to them and you're like,
and if your mom was in the stand, she would have been like, who's the little guy?
No, literally. That's its own story.
It is. All right, y'all. Well, the next episode, we have Chloe coming on. We're going to do something really, really fun.
Yes.
You guys love when Chloe's here.
Should we tease it? I'm quizzing them on Gen Z and Gen Alpha slang because I already know Julia's not going to know a single word. I just thought it'd be fun. It's fun doing like non-fitnessy topics sometimes.
I can't wait. But as always, guys, we love you all so much. And you're more powerful than you think.
Bye.